I've always sort of been unabashedly myself, and I've always spoken my mind and from the heart, and you know what? I think America's just catching on. The other day I was joking to one of my friends, and he was like, "You're kind of everywhere right now." I was like, "I know, I'm like America's sweetheart." And he just laughed like in my face. Because I think that like what you think of as like sort of the American people embracing, I don't really think on paper really embody much of any of that sort of perceived persona. And I think maybe that's what people are kind of latching onto, that my story's different, that I'm different. And I think on some level we all feel sort of different, and when we are embraced for, you know, being who we are and speaking our minds, it's awesome. I know what it's like to be like a young kid and feel like out of place, and to want to share your ideas and feel like people might not like them. And I spent a lot of time worrying what people thought of me. And as soon as I was able to let go of those doubts, that's really when I was able to find my voice. And I hope that in the process of me sharing who I am with everyone, that they can find their voice too. Because honestly, it's really fun to be yourself. It's really fun to be me. Also, on the flip side, never have received so many messages from people who said, "I've never been cheering for somebody to fall," which is darling. But at the same time, you know, I take it all with like a grain of salt. Because at the end of the day, I really enjoy what I'm doing. And I think that's the message that I want to convey, is that the most important thing is that you're enjoying what you're doing, that you have a passion, that life really isn't worth living if you don't have passion. And I have a passion for what I do. And along with having a passion for being an Olympic athlete, I have a passion for talking with people and sharing my story and interacting with people. So being here at this Olympic Games, I'm able to share both of my passions of interacting with so many different people and sharing my story and making people laugh. But at the same time, I have this amazing opportunity to go out onto the ice and show people, hey, I'm a really serious athlete. I also have this huge personality, but I can put that all together, and that's what gives me strength to go out there in front of millions of people and skate.
I'm wondering, have you ever encountered a situation where you meet someone who might be on the negative side viewing you, you meet them, talk to them, and they come away thinking of you much differently?
I think so. I think sometimes I will come across people and they'll spend maybe 20 or 30 minutes with me, and the reaction, if they came away not knowing what to think of me, people have told me, "Wow, you're a lot different than what I thought." And I said, "Oh, what did you think?" And they're like, "Oh, we just thought you were an asshole." And I was like, "Oh, yikes." And I think that I'm just trying to share who I am and my personality. And I think sometimes it might come off as cocky, but you know, I've been through a lot in my life. And I've used my sense of humor as a coping tool. It's gotten me through a lot of challenging times. And if I didn't have a sense of humor, I wouldn't be where I am now. I have no problem, you know, teasing my friends, but, you know, if you can't make a joke about yourself, then, you know, don't make a joke about somebody else. I'm choking up. So I think that having a sense of humor is incredibly important. And you know, sometimes I do meet people, and you know, they just might not like me, and they might not want to get to know me, and that's okay. They're boring as hell anyway.
Thanks.
I think my hard work into getting to the Olympics did me a favor. I think I worked really hard to get where I am, and I didn't get to where I am for being gay or for speaking out on different issues. I got to where I am for working really hard. When we did that interview for USA Today, you asked me a really simple question, and I gave you a really simple answer. And that the vice president felt so passionately to speak out is, I think, a very interesting and unique experience that I've never gone through. But you know, being here at the Olympics, it does give me a louder voice, and I've got a big mouth and a loud voice. But it has given me a platform, and I think it's so important that as an athlete that I use this platform to my advantage. I think that sometimes you're given this opportunity, and I really want to take full advantage of it. I think that me using my voice has given my skating a greater purpose than just something that I enjoy to do. It's given me a voice to reach to young kids. I've gotten so many messages, and I could even get emotional thinking about it, but like, I've gotten so many messages from young kids like all over the country that my story has resonated with them, and it's incredibly powerful, like this platform that you can have at the Olympic Games. And I think that's why it's so important. I think like in the past week, I've heard a lot of people, in addition to like all of the support I've gotten, I've heard a lot of people like, whoa, Adam Rippon should tone it down and blah, blah, blah. I can't tone it down. I'm being me, and I'm being myself, and I would be doing myself an injustice, and I'd be doing an injustice to those kids who don't feel like they're comfortable to be themselves. I think that I've received so many messages from so many different, like such a broad age range, to get messages from so many young kids who say that, that they're gay, they're afraid to share their story with their family because of their reaction. They think that, they might get kicked out of their home. I was very lucky growing up with the family and the friends that I had, that I never had to go through anything like that. But I know that fear, I know that pit in your stomach where you just kind of don't know. And I think, what's so sad, I think back and I remember thinking about, being a young kid and being like, I'm never gonna share this with anybody. This will be a secret that I keep with me my entire life. And I think sometimes when you're not confident in yourself and you can see somebody who doesn't care, and I don't care anymore, I really don't care. When you see that, it gives you a lot of confidence. And I remember seeing people who I thought were just so confident and exuberant. And I remember being young and watching Oprah, and I was like, damn, that lady is super confident. She can talk to anybody. And I remember watching that. I remember, watching different performers perform and artists perform. And that gave me a lot of confidence as a young person. That's where I fell in love with performing. I always loved being an athlete, but being a performer, in addition to that, is, a form of self-expression. I think skating sort of saved my life. It was my outlet where, if I didn't feel comfortable to share my feelings and thoughts, I was able to go out on the ice and express them. When I was able to kind of marry all of that together, that's when everything fell into place. And I think that when I'm able to go out and people can read an interview that I've done, and then see me skate and know that like you can be yourself and still be successful. I think it's very powerful. But to have so many messages where people, who I've never met, say that they're so proud of me and speaking out, and I'm just speaking from the heart. I'm really just being myself, and I hope it can give others to be, have the confidence to be themselves as well. The messages really have been overwhelming, and I feel so lucky to have this like opportunity to share my story, and I really hope that it can help a lot of people.